Welcome to John Essex Sports Channel, where we're doing League One predictions yet again, and we're already on to week 35. I can't believe it. So just a little bit of fun, guys. Don't have a lot of time to do research in depth, so it is my opinions combined with a few opinions of different sites and different other channels that we've been watching, and your own comments, of course. So please do comment, please do like and subscribe, and we'll go straight in with League One at Wycombe versus Burton. Now, Wycombe Wanderers, obviously, they played Birmingham and lost 1-0. They also got a red card. Obviously, studs up is an instant red card. I was talking to somebody on my live stream when we were watching that game, and back in my day, it would have been a slapped hand and told, don't do that again, raising your studs on a sliding tackle. Not a good idea, bad boy, and we would have moved on. But studs showing, red card, a lot of, Sky was reporting it as well. I don't think that was a red card, but technically the rules of the game are he got a red card. So that was that one, and then Burton drew against Mansfield, and they really did do well. They scored both goals, and they ended up drawing 1-1. But their first goal, great, and then they seemed to just sort of hold back, not quite doing an attacking job, mainly just trying to stop Mansfield from scoring, I think. Now, 2 shots on target in the entire game, which shows you to get the goal, sit back. The other point that you would look at is Mansfield have almost twice as many passes. They had 57% possession, 21 shots and 4 on target. Burton, 7 shots, 2 on target. I think 21 shots and only 4 of them on target. Burton did a damn good job of parking the bus once they were ahead. Didn't really let Mansfield play that pretty little football that they've got. And Roy, my subscriber from Mansfield, would say they play really pretty football, but they don't seem to get enough shots at target. And again, they get 4 shots at target, 1 in the net. They'd have been happy with that, but for the fact that they had 21 shots in the game. So let's have a look at what we think the prediction will be. So, Wycombe Wanderers draw, win, draw, lose. They're losing too many points at the minute. However, you look at where they are, second place. They're still 2 points ahead of Wrexham, who are also losing points. Birmingham not losing any. They're just sauntering off, aren't they? And the only team behind them at the minute is Stockport, 2 points below them, and Huddersfield, 2 points below them. And guess what? We've got Charlton, 2 points below them. And that goes on for another position as well. So it doesn't seem to be making an awful lot of difference yet, this losing points. So they will be starting to worry if they drop too many points going forward, because that gap that they'd got has started to dwindle between second place Wycombe and third, fourth and fifth place. So this game really is a must win for Wycombe, because they don't want to be losing too many points. Burton, on the other hand, draw, lose, win, draw. They've only lost 1 of their last 6, and that was against Bristol Rovers away. And Bristol Rovers can play really good or really average. So it's actually hard to work out this one. And I know I've seen a few different people commenting on this one. What are you saying? You're saying 2-0 to Wycombe, 3-0, 3-1. Yeah, I think that we're going to go. I think Burton will actually do better than people think. It could be a draw. It could be a 1-1 draw. If Burton really do as good as they can do, and Wycombe just don't seem to pick up the we need to win attitude, then it could be a 1-1. But I think they will, and I think that Wycombe will be 2. I think it'll be Wycombe 2, Burton Albion 1, and we'll go on to the next game. So we go Reading, Exeter, and Reading win, draw, win. And I must admit, I'm impressed by the on-field abilities during this entire season, because they had all those problems at the beginning off-field, and they didn't make a difference to the on-field team. In fact, if anything, it actually improved it. So I'm really impressed by how Reading have been playing, especially of late. 6 games there, 3 draws, 3 wins. They will be happy with that. And they're in 9th position. And they're literally 53 points. And Charlton in 6th are on 56. Just 3 points ahead. And, it's doable, isn't it? All of a sudden, they're thinking that they could do this. But they're playing an Exeter side in 19th, 36 points. Relegation is just 3 points below them. They also need to win this, but for a completely different reason. Now, Exeter, lose, draw, win, lose, draw. It's all over the place. However, they have been playing really well, and I was impressed by them. Even in that 3-0 defeat at Charlton, I thought that Exeter have been playing actually quite decent. And just of late, they've not really clicked, but they've not been playing bad football. They just not seem to gel together quite enough. I think that they will do. I think that they need to get that back there, because I did see that in them at the first half of the season. Just seems to have run aground a little bit for me, and I'm going to go and have a look at what you're saying. 1-1, 1-0 to Reading, 2-0 to Reading. I'm going to go with Reading 1, Exeter 0. I just can't see. I hope that Exeter do get this back their train back on track. At the minute, they just seem to be a little bit lost. They are playing good football, a lot better than they have been doing, but they just don't. They're not getting the results, and they're not quite gelling enough for me to get those results in. However, we're going with Reading 1, Exeter 0, and we'll go to the next game. So, Shrewsbury Town versus Bristol Rovers, and with Shrewsbury Town, they played Peterborough in a 3-1 defeat. John Marquis equaling the quickest red card in the EFL with just 15 seconds gone or something. Really was absolutely insane to do something like that and get sent off so early. Was just ridiculous. Bristol Rovers, of course, played Rotherham United, and actually I thought Bristol Rovers played the better football, and my side really didn't. The back end was just completely open. The front end was just run by luck. Bristol Rovers lost at home 3-2 to Rotherham, and they should be beating sides with showing such weak defences. And instead, they scored 2 goals, but their back line managed to let in 3. So, but they have that guy on loan, and he was absolutely amazing. Swinkles, wasn't it? And just watch out for him. He was a breath of fresh air in that side. He was running riot, and I can see him doing really, really well in these last few games. Where are they in the league? Shrewsbury Town are in 24th. And 20th we have Bristol Rovers, just 2 points above relegation, so they really do need to keep that gap between them and Burton, who are starting to play quite well. So what we're going to have is Shrewsbury win, draw, lose, and they were showing signs of being able to turn this round and play really well. And then it just seems to have, the wheels seem to have come off the train, and it's like, oh, shall we push it? Remember, it is just for fun. I don't have time to be going off and doing really in-depth research because I don't get paid for this. Bristol Rovers win, draw, win, lose. I can see this being quite a difficult game. I'm sort of tempted to go with Bristol Rovers, but I'm looking at what you guys are saying. 2-1 to Shrewsbury, 1-0 to Bristol, 2-0 to Shrewsbury. I'm going to go with Shrewsbury 0, Bristol Rovers 0. but it could be a sneaky 1-0 win either direction. Possibly with a Swinkles goal, Swinkles winner for Bristol Rovers. So do watch out for that. If I get that right, I'm cracking, aren't I? So we'll go on to the next game. Do keep watching, like and subscribe. So now it's Rotherham United versus Leyton Orient. My team, Rotherham United, obviously won Bristol Rovers away 3-2. The first away win at 3 o'clock on a Saturday for 2.5 years. I think it was even longer still since they scored 3. Certainly it's longer if they scored 3-0 and won away from home. So what have they done? Lose, draw, lose, win. I didn't really think that was a great performance against Bristol Rovers. We did enough. The back end was just awful, non-existent. The front end was let's put 3 up front and just see whether we can score. Leyton Orient win, lose. But those 3 defeats, 2-1 to Bolton away. Bolton have been playing really, really good, and they've got the capabilities now of doing really well for the last few games. Birmingham 2-0 away defeat. Well, yeah, it's Birmingham. And Charlton 2-1 at home defeat. Now, Charlton also been playing. They've got that technical expertise back. They've been playing really well. So it's no wonder they've had a hiccup. They played probably 2 of those teams at the wrong time. The other one, it's never a good time to play Birmingham, is it? Because they're going to beat you whatever you do. Or they're going to play extremely well anyway. So it's really difficult for me. What are you all saying? You're saying 1-0 to Orient, 2-0 to Orient, 1-1. I'm going to go with one of them. I'm going to go with one of them because I think that this is actually, if you look at the scoring and how the defence did for both games, for both those teams' last game, you see that both can let goals in, but both can actually score 1, 2, 3 goals. Yeah, I'm going to go with Rotherham 1, Leyton Orient 1. But Orient could nick this 1-0, but I'm going to go with a draw and sit on the fence. So let's go with Northampton, Stockport County. And Northampton Town are in 18th, Stockport County in 4th. Both these teams can play great football. Remember, Northampton were really struggling to get out of that bottom 4. They look, and away from it, they look steadily upwards now. They're not looking backwards, they're looking upwards. Win, lose, draw. The first loss there was against Wrexham. Well, we know where they are. They paid to be up there. They're doing really well. Barnsley defeat. That was a little bit less of an obvious one because Barnsley had been playing well, but at that point in time they hadn't been playing well, so they gave Barnsley one of their first wins in a while. And last time out, Exeter 1-1, and Exeter came back really late on there, 82 minutes to win that one, to draw that one, and they must have been thinking that they were going to win that one, but pegged back at the last minute. And they've been playing really quite well. Not brilliant, but well enough to be a mid-table team. But they're playing a Stockport County side who have been playing really well. And they were up there. They dropped back down. They had a few games where they weren't quite getting the results. And then they've come back up. Now with who they're playing, with injuries, with fitness levels, it's been win, draw, win, lose, win. 2-0 defeat to Cambridge, that was probably the hiccup there. And Bristol Rovers 1-1 away, that was probably another hiccup that they can play really outstanding or sort of quite average. So Stockport County for me, they can throw a wobbler. They seem to just keep pegging away, and sometimes they don't change the way they're playing mid-game. Will that make a difference against Northampton? Yes, because Northampton can, or Northampton will if they need to swap things around. I have seen that. Whether I was just dreaming it, I don't know, but I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments. I find this one a little bit more even than what I think you're all saying 2-0, 2-1 to Stockport. Now, I'm going to go with one of you. I'm going to go Northampton 1, Stockport 2, but this could be a 2-2. Could easily be a 2-2 here, because I think Stockport may just underestimate Northampton, and because they have done in a couple of games, and they do seem to have gone out thinking that they're going to win it, and then come up against a brick wall and not be able to get around it. So I'm going to go with Stockport, but could be a 2-2 draw. So let's go to the next game. Next game is Mansfield-Wigan. Of course, Wigan surprising us the other day with a getting rid of their manager. I really didn't think that was going to come about, because Mansfield are in 16th. Wigan are in 15th. They're on 39 points. You've got to remember that in sixth place is 56 points. So they're sort of on the beach, because the fourth place from bottom, Burton, is on 33, 6 points behind. But both these teams have the abilities to stay up. Absolutely. It would take a really bad run to get them into the relegation slots. And which one of these two does have that bad run? Well, Mansfield Town lose, draw, lose, draw. They were winning against Burton, weren't they? I think no, they came back against Burton in the 52nd minute. The problem with the Mansfield Burton game was that Mansfield had loads of shots. I mean, absolutely amazing amount of shots, but only a small amount on target. But they managed to get one of them in the net. They need to get more. What Burton did was they pushed them back, so they had to shoot from a distance or through a crowd of players. They sort of parked the bus on game 1-0 up and thought, well, we'll be able to hold Mansfield because they're not playing very well. It did. It stopped a lot of those shots from getting to the goal. Wigan, on the other hand, lose, draw, win, lose. Managerless, and you think they've been playing. I thought they've been steadily since their overhaul in January. I thought they'd played really steadily better and better. The win against Huddersfield was part of it. I think yes, absolutely. The draw against Wycombe Wanderers 0-0, absolutely. Even the Crawley 1-1, I thought they are getting better, aren't they? And even the Reading game, I thought they didn't play badly. So it was a shock to me to get rid of the manager. I didn't catch it early enough to do a short. That's why I didn't do that. So this game is going to be quite interesting. I just think that Wigan have still got the momentum more than Mansfield. They need to get more on target, more shots on target, but they were blocked, a lot of them. So I'm not holding out too much hope for Mansfield. However, I'm going to just have a quick look at how what are we having blocked shots for that game. 10 shots blocked for Mansfield. So they did make shots. And that sort of makes me think that Mansfield are probably turning a corner, and I'm going to go against most of you. Most of you are giving me a Wigan win, 1-0, 2-0 win to Wigan. I'm actually going to go Mansfield 1, Wigan 0. I just think that getting rid of the manager now is so insane that I think the frustrations will be seen by the fans and the players, and wonder why. Unless there's something that that we don't know as opposition fans, please do tell me down below in the comments, and like and subscribe. And we'll go on to the next game. So we go Lincoln Crawley, and Lincoln obviously had that amazing fight back against Barnsley. And in my live stream, I was saying it's going to finish a draw. This is going to finish. Watch them. They're going to. Barnsley always go really way ahead, and then they either lose it in the first few minutes or the last few minutes, as one of my Barnsley fans subscribers keeps saying. And they did 4-3 a finish, and you're thinking, I was really thinking that was going to be a 4-4, but never mind. 4-3 it finished. Lincoln really did well there to fight back, didn't they? They showed that they don't just give up. Crawley, 10 men against 10 men in the end. Hepburn, Murphy getting sent off. That could hurt. And I'm just thinking, will that be the difference for this game? And I think it could give a little bit of a mental drop for a team that really doesn't need it at this particular point in time. Lincoln draw, lose against Orient, win, lose, but lost 4-3. So Lincoln have been playing some really smart football, and that comeback against Barnsley was brilliant. However, Barnsley haven't been playing very well, so just think about that. But they did manage to get score 4. So, we have to start thinking about both sides here. Crawley Town, lose, win, draw, lose. And, it's a little bit up and down. They had been playing some really interesting football. Brilliant for 35, 45 minutes, and then not very good for the rest. And then they started to change it just a little bit, and they played really good for a while, and then they played average stroke not so bad for the rest. And I think that actually has made them get more points from it. So they've not been playing as good in that little small section, but they've been playing a lot better in the bit where they don't usually play very well. And actually, it's worked. They have been getting more points per game as they've changed it. So for Lincoln, draw, lose, win, lose. Yeah, bit up and down, isn't it? But they have been playing better. And Crawley Town, lose, win, draw, lose against Blackpool and Cambridge. Yeah, I still think that their mentality just seems to drop a little bit when they start going behind. But they can, if they can score here first, I think Crawley could win this one quite easily. What were you all saying? 1-0 to Lincoln, 1-0 to Crawley, 2-1 to Lincoln. Now, I think that I'm going to go with one of those. I'm going to go with Lincoln 2, Crawley 1. I think you're right. I think that Lincoln will have just enough, especially with that amazing fight back, and they'll have the bit between the teeth. And, at the end of the day, they are at home. And I think Crawley Town will be just ruin that Cambridge defeat. I'm thinking, damn, especially with the red card. And I think that's my tipping point, the red card, and the fact that it was just so insane, that game, and me watching it. So I've gone for a Lincoln win. Do I think it could be a draw? Probably not, but it could be a 2-2 draw, but I think it's going to most likely a Lincoln win. And we go to the next game. So let's go Huddersfield versus Wrexham, and Huddersfield 2-1 winners last time out against Stevenage. Draw, win, lose, win. I thought that they were going to be the side to take advantage of Wrexham and Wycombe's losing points, but they seem to have lost points as well themselves before sort of 5 games ago. Certainly they had a poorish period that I thought they'd do better in. And their last 6 games or so are all against the bottom seat. 5 of this last 6 games are against really poor sides. So it looks like they could be that side to nick in at the last minute and get into that sort of second place perhaps. So don't rule them out. And they're playing Wrexham, who, well, let's have a look at it. Win, lose, win, draw. Now the game against Bolton, the 0-0 game last time out, was such a boring game. Only 2 shots on target in the entire game. That, to me, I tried watching it, and it's one that a neutral just doesn't want to see, and that's obviously my opinion. Please do put your opinion down below. Give me a comment. Try not to dislike the video. Just give me a comment, because I don't have enough views anyway without you disliking it. And it is just for fun at the end of the day. But the way I watched it, I thought it was a boring game. 2 shots on target. And I don't think there was that many shots at all anyway, was there? I mean, let's have a quick check. 15 shots for Wrexham, 14 for Bolton. So there were a few shots, just not anywhere on target. And when I was watching it or watching the replays, it wasn't just a case of, we just missed the net. Most of the time it was like, way into the sky and hit the local seagull. Not likely at Wrexham, I don't think, is it? So I can see the differences between these two teams being quite stark. What are you thinking? 1-1, 1-0 to Wrexham, and 1-0 to Huddersfield. You're really sitting on the fence here, you guys, aren't you? One slight win one way, slight win the other, or even on the fence yourselves. This one, I think, is going to be quite tough. I think Huddersfield are actually getting their act together, and I think they can score goals, they can let goals in. However, shots on target, keep the ability to keep Wrexham away from doing short close-up shots is something that Huddersfield can do. So with all you going sort of on the fence and either way, I'm going to go Huddersfield 1, Wrexham 0. Could be a draw, could be a 1-1 draw, or it could be a 1-0 the other way. But I don't think it's going to be great, highly scoring. I think it's going to be 1-0 either way, 1-1 perhaps, but I can't see it being a draw. I think it's going to be 1-0 either way. We'll go for Huddersfield and we'll move to the next game. So we go, Charlton versus Barnsley. Charlton in 6th, Barnsley in 10th. I say that because obviously everyone's aiming for Charlton for that 6th slot at the minute. Assuming that Huddersfield pick up a little bit and get that 5th slot back into the top 5 rather than the top 4. And I think they might do it. However, let's have a look, and we'll have a look at the stats. Charlton played Leyton Orient. And Leyton Orient, Orient must have thought they won it until, 90 plus 2 minutes and 90 plus 7 for Charlton's 2 goals, Charlton actually played relatively well. In fact, 19 shots, 9 on target against Orient, 17 shots, 5 on target. So they weren't out of it. So coming to 90 minutes at 1-0 down, I think, they must have been quite gobsmacked by that, because they were doing better than that, and they won 2-1. So overall, they've done draw, win, lose, win, and the loss was against Birmingham, so we're not going to give them any grief about that. And then you look, Barnsley, they've had a torrid time until the last 3 games, and it changed at Rotherham, against Rotherham. So, Burton we start with. Draw, lose, win. But look at that last game. 4-1 up, was it? And then all of a sudden 4-2, 4-3. And, their inability to work till the end of the game. One of the commentators that we're listening along with said they've pulled back now, and they seem to be trying to just blockade the back. 3-1 up, we're okay. 4-1 up, we're fine. But 4-3, they just don't seem to. They blockade the back. They doesn't seem to work against Charlton. That's not gonna work. And Charlton at home are really, really good. Really impressed with Charlton at home. What are you saying? 2-0 to Charlton, 2-1 to Charlton, 2-1 to Charlton. I'm going to go. I am actually going to go with you, because I can't see Barnsley. If they do that constantly, and one of my Barnsley subscribers keeps saying they do, either lose it at the beginning or the end, I can see Charlton making them pay for it. So I'm going to go with Charlton 2, Barnsley 0, and we'll move on to Cambridge versus Stevenage next. So what do we have here? Cambridge versus Stevenage. Obviously, Cambridge had that red card in the last game against Crawley, finishing with 10 men. Gibbons off on 66 minutes. I don't think it'll make a great deal of difference for Cambridge. They've been getting slightly better from what I've seen. Not a humongous amount better, but they've been getting a little bit better as time goes on. Who wants it more? 12th place Stevenage, 44 points. They could still just about make a run for the sixth slot, but I don't think it's likely. Cambridge, though, 22nd position, 29 points, 4 points away from Burton, and 6 points away from Bristol Rovers in 20th. They need this win. They certainly do, because last weekend was important. All the bottom teams were playing each other. The winners obviously came out smiling, thinking that they've started a bit of a gap between the ones who were playing. Cambridge United, draw, lose against Birmingham, lose against Exeter, win. And the win was actually against Stockport, which 2-0, which was a surprise indeed. Because this is the start of this part of the season where people get in, where you've got injuries, you've got the pitch starts cutting up, as one of my Birmingham watchers said, but everybody's got injuries, everybody's got fitness worries, and most of the pitches will start to cut up at this time of year. It's a lot of water, a lot of games being played on them. So what's Stevenage then? Lose, draw, lose, win, lose. The only win was against Shrewsbury. I don't think Stevenage really have the impetus here. I think it's Cambridge that has the impetus. What are you saying? 1-0 to Cambridge, 1-0 to Cambridge, 0-0. I'm actually going to go with the majority, and I'm going to go Cambridge 1, Stevenage 0. That's going to put a cat amongst the pigeons in the relegation race, isn't it? So please do like and subscribe. Please do tell me what you think. And we're going to the main game here now, Birmingham fans. This is where you tune in. Right. I'm not kidding. And please do stay for the last game as well. You might as well. So again, Bolton versus Birmingham. We said last week the only team that we could really see winning Birmingham would be a good Wycombe side. But then, they go and get a red card and Wycombe, and it really sort of went dull from ever after that one. I think the red card really made a reasonable amount of difference for Wycombe. They just seem to be always chasing the ball. So 1-0 win against them. So we've got win, draw, win, draw, win. The only time they didn't get all 3 points was against Reading. Reading were really bad with their injuries, but apparently Go and Do one of the commenters from Birmingham said, yeah, they had lots of injuries as well, and they were playing on a dog walking pitch, and Reading parked the bus in the defence. Well, all the opposition sides are going to park the bus in defence. Bolton indeed will most likely park their bus in the defence. You've got to try and get it over the defence and using set plays. That's what you do. It's always been what people do when people park their bus in your defence. You don't just blast it. And the argument from Go and Do one that, yeah, we had lots of shots, but most of them were blocked. Of course they are. If you hit it at the bus, it will get blocked. Duh. So, not an argument. It doesn't need me to do research to find that out. It's always going to happen. Bolton will park their bus in Birmingham's in the defence to stop Birmingham going through. Birmingham will have to go over, not at the bus. Stansfield, when he's there, can go through that bus quite easily. But with injuries, yeah, they haven't quite got that ability, but they've got a great depth of squad. Any one of those or two of those people in one position can be replaced by someone else. So injuries are less important for Birmingham. For Bolton, they are a lot more important because they haven't got such an in-depth squad. So Bolton, lose, win, draw against Wrexham, and earlier on a trophy defeat against Wrexham. So they've been sort of a little bit up and down, but mainly playing really good football. Can they beat Birmingham? I'm looking at some of your results. Someone actually put 2-1 win for Bolton, and all the others are 1 and 2-0 wins for Birmingham. I actually think that Birmingham will find this just as tough, but I think they're going to get the gist of how to get around the bus this time. I'm going to go with Bolton 0, Birmingham 2. I think that the class in that side, even with injuries, is just too much for even a good side like Bolton, and it is a good side. Let's see what happens. We go to the last game now. Please do stay on for Blackpool versus Peterborough. Does help the channel, and then you can have more people can moan at me then, can't they? Blackpool Peterborough. Blackpool last time out, Stockport County 2-1 defeat. Going down to an Anderson 81st minute winner from Stockport. They really, and they were ahead on 7 minutes, and it's one of those games, isn't it, where you think they went ahead too early. Really was. It was just that. They went ahead so early that Peterborough thought, shit, we better pick up the pace, because they have been doing really well of late. Win, lose, draw, win, draw, win. They're picking up a few decent points there. A decent point 2-2 against Wrexham away. A decent point 1-1 away at Stevenage. A really good win 1-0 away at Huddersfield. And all of a sudden you're thinking, this team's really good away from home, isn't it? Of late, it's doing really well. They only got Charlton 2-1 defeat away from home. That's the only one out of the last 6 that they've lost away from home. And Charlton are playing really good technical football of late, so that's no bad thing. So I think that Peterborough will have the edge here. What are you thinking? Oh, somebody's thinking 2-0 to Blackpool. Now, you see, I think what people are thinking here, Blackpool in 11th, Peterborough in 17th, and but they've been playing really... No, I know they've been playing pretty poor, or getting poor results, Peterborough, but they've... of late, they've actually been playing quite well, and they've been showing that they can do some pretty good football. Yeah, the defence can be a little bit iffy, but I think that Peterborough here have the ability to just hang on and get a win. I think it's going to be Blackpool 1, Peterborough 2. Please do like and subscribe. It's John S. Sports Channel over for one more prediction video. Please do like and subscribe. See you later.